Welcome to Q&A, a segment where you ask and I answer. My name is Nayim. I am your host, and this is episode 5. And we got a very good question on the table today because I'm going to be roping in the Glizzy versus Richmond, Virginia situation and talk about his comments and how I've been seeing people respond in regards to our Q&A on the table. Let's get into that. So, question number 5 for episode 5. Should I confront the people who fucked me over? Now, as a fleet member, if you're a relatively new fleet member, considering becoming a fleet member or are an active fleet member, the first thing we do is we look at ourselves in the situation and we take accountability for the role that we play in any situation that goes on, whether we're at fault or not. Because even if you're not at fault, you were still there and there was probably a sign there that was happening. And I say that we look at ourselves first before we start doing external things is because if somebody has fucked you over, whether they have said something that hurt your feelings or they've actually done something physical to you or tried to thwart your career or did something to try to sabotage you in some type of way, the first thing you should ask yourself is, was there a sign there? Did this person fuck other people over that you know of? Does this person do bad business? Does this person don't know how to control themselves emotionally? Is this person a hothead? Does this person have something going on that they can't control? All of these things matter. We might act like they're not connected, but they do matter. And did you see this person do things to other people? Did this person treat this group of people different than they treat this group of people different than they treated you? Was there favoritism or things going on in the matter? These are things that we have to look at, and we look at it to ask them because we were there to see them. Because if we were there to see them and we thought that we were going to be an anomaly, it was just only a matter of time. So you look at the situation in regard to what role did I play in this, and did I know, and did I think I was special? Because I'm a firm believer that there is no such thing as special. There's not when you're dealing with things that you can't control. The second thing would be is look at where the tension is coming from. Look at what type of person is saying this. And this is where I want to bring the Aunt Glizzy thing in. Aunt Glizzy is going on his city to city tour, disrespecting cities and talking about cities or whatever in comparison to where he's from. And people here in Richmond are rightfully mad. Nobody wants to hear you talk bad about their hometown. Nobody wants to hear you speak ill of the type of people that is in that hometown because you're bragging about things that you shouldn't be bragging about where you're from. He's out here, he's saying, y'all country, y'all lame, y'all want to do, y'all, anything that people be saying when they're trying to big up where they from. Y'all dumb, y'all bums and bammers and all that stuff. And it's just like, okay, but as a person who's considering responding to that, or because I don't give a fuck about him. It's that type of person or anything that's coming against you. Look at who is saying this, because why would anybody be upset about a person who doesn't own the leaves in their driveway talking about a city that you probably don't own the leaves in your driveway either? That is just, that's my favorite example to use, because fighting over words and getting in your feelings over what somebody who doesn't have anything going and doesn't own anything and isn't doing anything but running their mouth, that's not worth replying to me. Because it's like, we can go there and people talking about people mamas and people know the situation and the circumstance with his mama, bro. Anybody can go there and anybody can talk about that. That's fine. But it's like, I'm not going to waste my time going after somebody who can't even get their home life in order. These are the things you need to consider when you're talking about responding and going back and forth with a person. It's like, okay, I look at myself. All right, I made my mistake in it. Then I start dealing with externals. Who is this and what are they saying? This is somebody who cannot get their home life in order. This is somebody who doesn't have self-control. This is somebody who doesn't, you don't have anything going on aside from running your mouth. This is how you pay your bills. This is how you do your things. You don't have anything else. This is all you have. That's not worth responding to me. To me. Now, you can go But what I tell you after this is going to really make you reconsider rather, if you actually want to go and respond to a person. So it's just like you looking at a person, okay, they can't even get there. Their home life's not even under control. They don't own the leaves in their driveway. They don't own anything. They've never created anything. They don't do anything aside pitch and bitch and moan and talk shit. They've never helped anybody. They've never done anything that was worth anything. Why am I going to go back and forth and argue when this person can't get their self together and they've never done anything going past getting their self together? Let's just say this is a person who is together on their self. What the fuck am I going to fight over places that are taxing you, but you don't get a say in what's going on where you at? Not one racist has died. Not one crooked police officer has died. Not one rapist has died. Not one pedophile has died. Nobody has ran down on nobody that has committed a sex crime, a crime against a child, a crime against the community. People robbing y'all blind, doing all type of shit. And this is for both sides of it. Because again, I'm from Portsmouth. What people say about Richmond, it really not none of my business, but I live here and I'm going to stand with Virginia no matter what. But it's not, I don't find anything productive about arguing about, oh, we got the highest murder, because I've seen people on both sides, oh, we was the highest murder capital and we got the most crime and we the realest niggas and you come here, you gonna do this, bro. We are in a state right now. Everybody, what's happening where you are is not an anomaly. What's happening where you are is not something that is like only exclusive to where you at. Unless you like, oh, I live in Colorado, we're not going to get a hurricane because you live in Florida. That's nature. We're talking about societal situations. I'm not going back and forth and arguing with nobody who can't even control the politicians where they live. I don't want to hear about shit that niggas is proud about because, oh, we killed the most niggas. We hurt the most families. We sold the most crack. We do the most that. If that's what you proud of, cool. Because niggas like to brag about shit that's the shit that they can control. When you're a person of means and you're a person that so we all come from the same places. You are a person who, you got up, you stood up, you picked your bed up and you walked and you went and you made something of yourself, or you're on your way to something that's actually tangible and something that can actually be something that's happening in the real world that does not require just people running their fucking mouth. You don't have time to be worried about people fighting over shit they don't own. People fighting over shit they can't control. People who actually believe that voting is the answer and shit. There's all these little silly ass things. No, do not respond to these people. They're dead. They're walking in a fucking circle fighting amongst each other. Niggas don't never brag about, I take care of my woman the best. My woman is the number one person in her grad program. I take care of my grandmother the best. My kids are smarter than yours. My kids speak the most languages. I speak more languages than you. I write the best music. I've done the most for the community this year. You don't never hear people bragging about that. They want to brag about how many niggas got murdered, how many times they ran from the cops, how long they was able to sit in prison, how long they were able to be a caged animal with no say so, somebody telling you what to do up and down all day long and stuff. They want to brag about that. That's not, you're a slave. That's not nothing that you should be bragging about. And y'all continue to perpetuate these systems, but then will turn around and tell us, oh, y'all, we got to do better. No, let them fight amongst. If you want to degrade yourself as a person who has something going on, you want to degrade yourself and go back to the mud, go back to the dirt, go hang out with the catfish in the bottom of the sea, under the mud, eating trash, a fucking garbage disposal, do you do that? But if you're a person of means, you don't respond to the nonsense. You don't get involved in that shit. You don't allow strangers, a fucking stranger, you don't allow losers, people who don't have nothing going on. I have a pure hatred for losers. Like, I cannot stand a fucking loser because being a loser is a fucking choice. You don't allow those people to pull you down to where they are because they're not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. They're fucking losers. No, you don't respond to that. Because they don't control anything but the harm that they can cause other people because they're useless otherwise. No. And when you've moved past that, so okay, We looked at self, we looked at them, we looked at what they've done for anybody else. Now you go back and you look at yourself again. Look how much work you have put fucking in to making something of yourself. Look at how much work you've put in to elevating yourself and working through your issues and problem solving. And you woke up every day and you didn't make one motherfucking excuse for why your life is not good or why you're not where you're supposed to be. You didn't make one excuse. You didn't do anything to stop yourself. You got out of your own way. You got out of your own head. You don't allow chatter and white noise and bullshit to suck you out of everything you work hard for, because that's all that these people are around here to do. They're around here to distract, keep you from getting to your goal, keep you from getting to what you want to do. You don't listen to these motherfuckers because they're not shit to be listening. They're nobody to be listening to. They've never done anything. They've done nothing to move themselves from fucking -1 to 0, let alone 0 to 1. No. Look around you. Look around your house. Look around your life. We are in a state where we are constantly evolving. So we're never going to be done. We're never going to be done elevating. We're never going to be perfect. We're never going to be, there's always room for improvement. There's always something we can get better at. Even if it's not on the career front, it might be your personal life. It might be getting in the gym. It might be doing something for grandma. I might need to call my mom a little bit more. I might need to make a better relationship with my niece. Any of that. We're always in the constant state of that. So when you realize that much, you realize you don't have time for people who don't give a fuck about evolving and give a fuck about making something of themselves and give a fuck about not being under the thumb of control. Because these will be the same people you're praising and you're uplifting the shit that you shouldn't. But then you'll turn around and you'll beg somebody else for help. You'll turn around and you'll be begging the government for something. You'll be begging your community to do something for you when you were supposed to be the person where, you made something of yourself. You are of sound mind. You are of sound emotional intelligence. You're not allowing people to just say whatever the fuck they want to say or whatever, because there is a time to defend yourself. And I'll tell you that in a second. But you did everything you were supposed to do, and you do give back and you do help, because you do understand that some things are fixed, some things are given, and you should want to give. You should want to help. You should want to be of service. Not free all the time, but there are some things that you should just do because you are the foundation of wherever you are at. If we talking about leaders, because I'm talking to people who want to lead. I'm talking to people who want to be somebody. I'm talking to people who are somebody. I'm not talking to people who want to sit around talk about the murder rate, smoking blunts on camera, doing drugs and all of that bullshit. Not telling you nothing, not sitting down and taking that time out to let you know what's really going on there. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to people who need to be rock ribbed, rock solid, have a spine, want to do something with their life. No. You don't need to acknowledge everything. You can make a note of it, like, okay, that happened. But yeah, like, nigga, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. Ain't nothing in that for me. It's nothing beneficial in that for you. And I feel like for people out here in Richmond, bro, nobody should have ever said nothing to this nigga. Fuck him. That's what he does. That is what his job was. And the fact that he's been going from city to city to city talking crazy about everybody, you should have just fucking ignored it. But people is so like, look how easy it is to get people in their feelings, bro. Nobody that has something going on should be in their feelings about what people say. I don't give a fuck what they say. Like, you should not be in your feelings about that. You should be of sound mind enough to know that, like, we need to take action against this because it's wrong. I don't like it because it's wrong. Not I don't like it because it hurt my feelings. I don't like it because it's wrong. It's the same thing when I was going on Lil RT. I don't like it because it's wrong. Because in the real world, nobody gives a fuck about him. Nobody gives a fuck about that child. And they make it very clear because he's a sex slave to his label. But I said something because I don't like that because it is wrong. Not because, oh, my feelings is hurt and it just crushed me, but because yes, it did crush me because no child should be in that situation. But I said something when the label came back and said something to me, and I responded to them because I said what I said because you don't control me. I'm not asking you for nothing. You can't do nothing for me. Those are appropriate times to respond. You respond when people lie. And it doesn't need to be something drawn out and long, like, hey, we not fucking with that or whatever. But when people, like, once you get up and up there, it starts becoming like a legal problem. But like, there's certain things you should respond to. Lawsuits, fucking accusations that demonize your character, those type of things. And it don't need to be long and drawn out. It needs to just be, hey, I'm responding to this just to let the motherfucking record be known that ain't fucking true. Stop fucking playing and leave it at that. We don't have to go into bragging about loser behavior, bragging about shit that we don't own, shit we do not control. I had this transgender person diss me. And not only did they diss me, they was tagging me and stuff and doing all of this shit. And I got on the phone. I was on the phone with Theo the last time they said something to me. And I was like, I was so hot because I'm just like, why are you bothering me, bro? Like, I don't bother you. Even with everything that was going on with your bullshit, bro. I stayed away from you. I don't know nothing about, like, I don't want no parts of that. And Theo told me, look at everything that you have built and everything you got going on. Do not respond to that. Because I was going to go. I was, fuck all that talking, let's go. Let's do something about it then. But Theo told me, bro, look around at everything that you've done. Don't fucking respond to that. And I'm glad that I listened to that. Because if I wouldn't have listened to that, who knows what kind of look. And we say we do whatever we want to, and we've lost nothing. We've lost nothing by having this channel. But you know how things go when you start to think critically about what's going to happen after this. And that's the last part about this, is like thinking about the aftermath. It's like shooting a gun. You supposed to know your target and what's behind it. If I would have shot at this person, not physically shoot, but like if I would have responded to this person dissing me, who knows how that would have looked? Who knows what that could have turned it into? That could have bubbled over and boiled into something else. Now, this person is in prison right now. They're not going to be out for a long time. Their own doing. Nothing to do with me. But just because I ignored it, it turned out and worked out in my favor. I ignored it like it didn't happen. I didn't say anything. I didn't acknowledge it in public. I'm not going to. And this is how you got to move when you somebody and you got something going on. Ignore all this bullshit. If they're not coming at your safety, your family, your integrity, call you a scammer or something like that and say, hey, nobody ever got scammed. And this is the importance of transparency, because people wouldn't even play with your name like that. People wouldn't even come out here and talk crazy to you like that. You move on with your life. Fuck all that bullshit. Closure is a myth. You're not going to get closure from somebody else. You close it yourself and you move the fuck on. That's what you need to do. So should you confront people who fucked you over? It would really depend, but I would say most of the time, no. Don't say nothing to these people. Fuck them. Clean cut them off. Fuck them. Don't mention them. Don't give them no clout. Don't bring them up. Don't nothing. You cut that cord and you move on with your fucking life. And that's for a person with some mean. Because it's bad for business. Beef is bad for business. It doesn't sell. And once you open that door to getting into beef and get into that shit, it's going to be hard to come out of that, because niggas ain't trying to speak to you and talk to you about nothing rational. They want to speak to you and talk to you about beef. They want to speak to you and talk to you about negativity. They want to speak to you and talk to you about shit that has nothing to do with the mission that you're on. Stay focused on your mission. Stay focused on what you got to do. Stay focused on that. Don't worry about the bullshit, because the bullshit is a given. And the more higher you get, the more bullshit is going to come to you. So the best case scenario is analyze and fucking ignore. Sometimes you're going to be in a position where you're going to have to fucking ignore people, even if they're getting the praise and people are saying shit to them and calling them names and doing all that. You're going to have to ignore it and just do the Rick Ross type of thing, i.e. fight your way through by continuing to work and not being bothered so much. You throw a little jab here, throw a little jab there. It's like 50 Cent with Rick Ross. 50 Cent jabbing and jabbing and jabbing and beating them and beating them and beating them and putting out information and sex tapes and all these other things. Just going hard in, going in on them. Rick Ross did not lose. Why did he not lose? Because, yeah, nigga, I'm going to throw a little shot at you here and there. I'm going to make fun of you here and there, but I'm working. I'm going to keep going. The wheels is not going to stop because you talking shit. The wheels is not gonna stop because you bullshitting. The wheels is not gonna stop because you coming in here and you saying whatever and you doing whatever and you fucking doing skits. Nigga, you do that. You focusing on me doing that, I'm focusing on me doing me. And that's how you respond to people. You focus on yourself and do yourself. You don't need to acknowledge them. You don't have to come out. You don't have to stop wasting time on other people and use your time on you and what you got going on and catering to your folks and your situation. This has been Q&A episode 5. I'll holla at you.